Hello everybody, TGL here, back with another Brawlhalla guide. I've kind of been slacking on these, I haven't made one in a while, but I'm gonna get back into it. But today we are doing Sword. Sword's kind of crazy. Everyone's hating on Sword right now. Everyone's like, oh my god, this Sword kind of goes crazy. I agree, it's a really good weapon. So, might as well show you how to play it. This is a basics guide, so keep in mind there won't be as many like advanced combos, stuff like that. This is just what you need to know to play it well. Because I know there's like 1,000 other guys out there that go through a ton of combos and they're like, oh, I'll hit these sick combos. But it's more important to know how to play the weapon than to know how to hit cool stuff with the weapon. So that's what I'm going to be going over today. Let's get straight into it. Alright, first thing we're going to go over is approach options on Sword. Because approach options are super important on every weapon. That's why I go over them first on every single one of these guys I've done. But what you're going to want to do for Sword is either approach with a D-Light, which combos into a bunch of different stuff like... because D-Light is one of your best combo tools. If I'm being honest on Sword, you can hit so much out of D-Light, so many true combos, so many kill confirms, stuff like that. So you're going to want to use D-Light when you can. Sometimes, if you want to switch it up though, Side Light works good. It can go into a D-Light, although it's not a true combo. It still gets the job done sometimes. I also like doing N-Light into D-Light, which has a little less dodge window, so it's a little harder to get out of. N-Light is, I wouldn't say it's an approach option. It can be. Keep that in mind. You can use it to approach, but I think N-Light is probably better used to space out your opponent instead of actually like getting in close. But N-Light, keep in mind, N-Light is a really good move because you can use it out of so much stuff. If you use a SIG and has a ton of N-Lag, just N-Light. Because N-Light, it comes out so fast. I'll go over that a little bit more later. But yeah, approach options. So you got your side lights that do a decent amount of damage. You can't really get much out of it, but you can just get them like just off you to hit more D-Lights. You can use D-Light. You can actually use side airs. I think side airs are pretty good because if you hit a side air, you can do into D-Lights and stuff like that. And you can do into like side lights, and it's just pretty good. It does a good amount of damage. It gets you in. You can't get too many follow-ups out of it, but it's pretty good. It's pretty good. So yeah, for your approach options, you're going to be using D-Light. You're going to be using side light. Maybe N-Light if you're really desperate, and side airs and stuff like that. Other than that, you don't really have too many approach options. N-Light, you can. Would I recommend it? No. But if you miss input, N-Light can sometimes hit. Or not N-Light, Nair. I wouldn't recommend Nair. Nair doesn't really work that well. It can. I wouldn't recommend it. Your best bet is D-Light, side light, and then side airs. So if you're in a pinch, you're struggling to approach, mix it up a little because mixing up your approach options is super important. Because if you just keep doing D-Lights, your opponent will learn to jump, and then what are you gonna do? You can't really stop them from jumping. So you're gonna have to mix it up. You're gonna throw out some side airs. You're gonna have to throw out some side lights, just so they don't know exactly how to counter it, and you can have kind of like the element of surprise on your opponent. Next thing we're going to go over is your D-Light combos, because D-Light combos are super important for Sword. You can literally get everything you want out of D-Light. D-Light down air. That's a damage dealer. I don't know how it wasn't true. I think I messed that up. There we go. To hit it true, all you gotta do is D-Light, jump, and then just down air. I think it's easier to do if you dash into the D-Light, but it is definitely possible to get it true without dashing. I don't know why I just prefer to dash. Just feels more natural to me. But also, you can do D-Light side air, just a D-Light jump side air. They're basically the same input for all of them, if I'm being honest, for all your combos. D-Light recovery is your kill combo. That's going to be your Sword kill combo. If you ever need to kill on Sword, D-Light recovery. For D-Light recovery, you don't have to jump. I know that's a mistake a lot of people make. A lot of people jump after the D-Light, and it can work, but it's so much harder to hit, trust me. Literally just D-Light, hold forward, and recovery. All you gotta do, it's such a good kill confirm, because it kills at like any percent. Trust me, I mean, maybe not 700, because D-Lights kill at 700, but if you're high on health, okay, I messed it up because I suck, but you just got a D-Light recovery. D-Light recovery. It works at almost every single percent unless it's so high that literally everything kills them. It's going to work. So, D-Light, you can do so much with D-Light. You can do D-Light and Light. Is it the best combo you can do? No. But you can do it just because of how good D-Light is at setting up combos. D-Light is going to be like your combo starting move. That's basically it actually. I was going to say there are some other options, but if you want to hit a nice, solid, strong combo, D-Light's what you're going to want to go for, because it sets it up into your true combos, it sets up into your kill confirms, it sets up into everything. So if you're going to be going for kills or going for big combos, D-Light. Use D-Light. Sometimes mix it up. Go for a gravity cancel one. Sometimes mix it up and just kind of mix out different options, because D-Light just works everywhere. It's so good. You still have some other string options just in case they're getting used to your D-Lights. But if you're going for those combos, D-Light, trust me, D-Light down air, D-Light side air, kill with D-Light recovery. You can do some more advanced combos, but I will save those for my advanced sword guide, which I will be making once I finish all these other guides. But yeah, that's basically all we got for these D-Light combos. Let's get into the next section. Alright, next thing we're going to go over is spacing and neutral with sword, which these are going to be really important. You're going to want to use these a lot. Main thing, end light, side light. Oh my god, these moves are ridiculous. They play neutral for you, if I'm being honest. If you don't know what neutral is, it's basically when the game's like stalled, I guess, when no one's really attacking each other, and you want to get that first hit and kind of just space them out. These moves are perfect for that. Also, side air's pretty good for that, but it's not as good as end light and side light. So if you're going to want to approach in neutral, side light, there you go, nice and easy. If you're going to want to hold back in neutral, you're going to want to end light. So what makes end light so good at neutral is it comes out so fast, because look at this. Side swing, then I just end light right out of it. That has 11 windows for it to, or 11 dodge windows for it to come out, and that's because of the SIG's downtime. That's not even because of the end light speed. It's so fast. It basically gives you a free hit, because if you miss your D-SIG, then you can just end light right out of it, and they can't really do anything. They can't really approach you because it doesn't give the opponent enough time to actually like punish your like bad play, because you can just throw out an end light. Like let's say you're recovering, you lose your recovery or whatever, you throw out a side light, then just end light, because it's so fast that you can just kind of get away with it. And end light is such a good move for holding down your position and not letting anyone get near you. It's so good. If you're approaching though, side light's your best bet, because the hitbox on this thing is kind of ridiculous. It just gives you so much for no reason. It's such a solid move for approaching, and it gives you a decent amount of distance, because if I were to side light from here with a dash, if I dash side light from right here, I can hit center stage for free. It's so good. Same with the end light. I should probably show off the end light hitbox. Oh my god, look at that. That is such a good hitbox. But yeah, if you're playing neutral or if you're spacing out, end light, side light, and side air. Side air's more for just kind of poking them away. End light's for just kind of stopping them from doing anything, if I'm being honest. And then you can use those side lights to approach. So that's basically all you really need to know for sword neutral. You can mix it up a little bit more, throw out some more weird options, but the best bets you're going to have are those three. You can also approach with the D-Light, just set up into the combos. Side light's safer, but D-Light is more rewarding because you can get those big D-Light combos I was going over earlier. But yeah, that's basically how you play sword neutral. That's how you space with sword. Let's get into the next section. Alright, last thing we're going to go over is offstage with sword. And this is really important. It's not as important as the others because those are more of the basics. This is kind of more of a bonus segment, just if you're curious how to play good sword off stage. What I like to do is D-Lights and side airs. I think those are probably your best setups and best kill options with sword, because the D-Light sets up pretty good into the side airs off stage. Not perfect, obviously, because that would be super broken, but they set up pretty good. And down airs are much safer than your ground pounds. You can still go for your ground pounds, obviously, but down airs are so much safer. They have a lot more range, and they're easier to hit, and you can kind of just get away with them, I guess, if I'm being honest. You can just do so much. You can do so many cool combos off stage with sword, just because of how like versatile it is, and also just because the way that its moves work is they're just have so much range and are so fast, especially down air, because down air, you just kind of get to play the game, and your opponent doesn't, if I'm being honest. It's weird to edgeguard a bot, by the way. That's why I'm struggling so much, but yeah, it's just such a good weapon off stage, and that recovery is so good for recovering. But yeah, if you're off stage, I'd recommend down airs. I'd recommend side airs, because side airs can kind of just do this. You can kind of just space them out. Okay, I'm bad and I just SD'd, but but yeah, it's just such a good move. down air and side air. I think your best bet is probably side air if they're recovering in like this direction. If they're recovering horizontally, I almost said vertically, I almost messed that up. But if they're recovering vertically, down airs are good. Just kind of sitting on ledge like this. Also, if you don't want to go fully off stage and just want to sit on ledge, end lights are really good. So are D lights, because D lights can pick up on ledge. Let me put on this hitbox real quick. There we go. D lights can actually pick up on ledge, which is pretty good. Okay, my guy just froze there. That was weird. And end lights, obviously end lights, end light, and it's just really, it's a really good move. You can also do side airs on ledge like that. But I think my best options are end light, D light, because you can do D light into down air and then go into a combo off stage. You can do stuff like this, stuff like that. It's just a pretty good move, if I'm being honest. You can just kind of go for some D lights, go for some side airs, and then just do crazy stuff like that. It's such a good weapon off stage just because of how simple it is, but also how quick and how like just strong the moves are. So sword off stage isn't too difficult. It's just kind of how you expect to play a weapon off stage. It's just a really solid weapon, if I'm being honest. Most sword characters have good SIGs, just kind of like Bodvar. I don't really know what else to say. It's just a good weapon all around. But that's going to be pretty much it for the guide. Hope you guys enjoyed. Subscribe if you haven't already. I hate chilling like that, but sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. I'll be doing guides on every single weapon in the game eventually. I'll be doing basic guides on all of them. I've already done like 6 or something like that. And I will be doing a basic guide for all of them. Then when I finish that, I'll be doing advanced guides for weapons. It's gonna be sick. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. That's pretty much it for me. Peace out.